And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, over 80 show categories with the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we all want to help you win. We want to entertain, educate, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to help you win by engaging with us.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, all you have to do is pull out your smartphone, save our hotline number in your phone at 813-670-7372. Give us a call or a text, 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline. Also, consumerqb.com. Submit the form at consumerqb.com. Any of your questions, comments, concerns, we would love to talk to you about that and engage us. You can also see all of our expert contributors by clicking, easy for me to say, on the expert contributors tab there on the website. And you can see our expert contributors there as well. And watch our live stream version of the show, 10 a.m. Weekdays as well on WeBeam TV and from our website, consumerqb.com. Some interesting content for you today. We've got expert contributors in studio. We don't care if you're climbing that corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to help you win. And we want to give a big shout out to Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza in Tampa. Excellent food. It's a excellent ambiance, great food there, Italian flavor, and it's a great place to be. Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza Mall, and you will discover Italian menu, drinks in our cozy atmosphere, bringing the pleasures of the Tuscan country to Tampa. So that's our official restaurant partner. Now, if you go over there and tell them that the real estate quarterback sent you, they are going to continue to take care of you with that free water with lemon, as they do. And we're back here in studio, and let's go around the horn now, make our introductions. Back in studio, Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist, Home First Lending. Welcome in, Mario.
Thanks, Brandon. Great to be here again. I'm going to be going over kind of some of the market trends in 2017 for real estate, interest rates, housing prices, stuff like that today. So have some interesting stuff to talk about.
I like that. Seeing what's happening out there. Talk about some VA loans. We'll talk about some down payment options, different types of municipalities, maybe some bond programs. We heard about a great bond program yesterday's show as well. So let's talk about some of these as well. Yep. And also, Abraham Moussa, CEO, Total Title Solutions. Welcome in, sir.
Glad to be back. Thanks for having me. Well, I'm going to piggyback on him. It says the value of title insurance today in a survey. Awesome. Let's talk about this. Since there's a lot of buying and selling, and some people get a little bit cheap about it, you shouldn't.
Yeah, survey, the value of a survey. You got to make sure that the encroachments aren't there. You also look at the amount of crime, the cyber crime these days. We're going to talk about that. We see that happening with real estate transactions more and more. So Abe Moussa, expert in the title industry, longtime friend of the program as well. And we're expecting a call in from William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician. He's going to be calling in, talking about how you can avoid identity theft, how you can improve your credit scores, and we want to engage you with this content today. Now, as we do, we always want you to call that audible. So we got Peyton Manning there helping us with that audible. But what we talk about is how does a vulnerable human being tame and sometimes angry a lion or a ferocious lion, right? So you think about that. How does a human being do that? What he has is, you see the cartoon characters, you've seen it play out. They have this stool, and it's got 4 different legs to the stool. So what happens is the lion sees those 4 different legs as 4 separate threats, and it leaves him dumbfounded, and he is stricken with indecision, paralysis by analysis. And I think a lot of times that is a metaphor to our life. A lot of times we look at so many things. We got all these different things to have to do. We've got the problem over here. We've got an issue here that came up. We've got to meet these certain steps on this file type of thing. And the idea is to really focus and go back to the Pareto's principle. Think about the 80-20 rule, right? So what are those 20% of the key tasks, those key functions that you can perform on a daily basis that's going to lead you to the prosperity, to the success, and the 80% of the wealth and success that you're going to see and you're going to realize in your life? So focus on the vital few. Wilfredo Pareto, Italian economist, created this thought process back in 1895. So think about Wilfredo Pareto, think about the 80-20 rule, and focus on the vital few. And it's going to be different for each person out there, but you know what it is. If you were to write down 10 things on paper, 2 of those things, 3 of those things are going to be more important than the other 7. So focus on the vital few. That's going to be crucial in your path to success and prosperity. There's your 2-minute drill, helping you win in any marketplace. Coming up later in the show as well, we got the 10 celebrities whose careers were ruined by their reputations. Anthony Puglisi put this together for us. And also, Newport Richie veteran receives new home in our feel-good story for today. So let's jump into it, Mario. When you think about the mortgage industry, you think about real estate, man, it's such a fluid market. There's a lot of things happening. What do you think is going to happen this year?
Well, last year, the sales have increased. They also are saying that the first-time home buyers have increased every single month for the past 5 years. So they're projecting that that's going to continue to go up with Trump coming in and, repeal the hopes to repeal some of the Dodd-Frank, which is, in turn, in theory, going to allow some of the banks to open up some of their lending to, allow more people to qualify. So we should see a big upswing in that, and the home value should still continue to increase. Looks like they're going to steady out a little bit from last year. Last year they kind of jumped up quite a bit, but they're still going to continue to go up.
Yeah, home values are going to improve. We are continue to appreciate. We see about 1,000 people a day moving to Florida. And then when you look at Florida on a map, you look at Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, some of the best beaches, some of the best dining, sports teams, so many things to do here. And of course, the absence of a state income tax is always attracting people from the Midwest, from the Northeast, from all over the world, really, to come to Tampa Bay. So the appreciation is going to be here. Now, let's talk about what is the cost of money going to do. What do you think is going to happen there? Pull out your crystal ball.
They're going up.
Yeah.
They're projecting 3 rate hikes this year. We've already seen one. They were supposed to go up last year, but last year was kind of a crazy year with the English pulling out of the euro, which
Brexit,
it made the rates plummet. But then they went back up again when Trump came into office with people speculating that the economy is going to improve, with the job market improving. So there was some confidence there, and they've continued to go up since then. So they're definitely going to go up this year, which is going to make it a little bit more tough for some people to qualify for as much home as possible.
Right.
But that's definitely something we're going to see.
Yeah, it is. And we're still looking at, though, I think when you look at a perspective, we're still looking at 40, 50-year lows. Maybe now we're at 30 or 20-year lows. So it's still a great time to get off the fence. Take a look at a refinance. Take a look at removing that private mortgage insurance, potentially, if you have that. Maybe, if you're a renter out there, getting off that renter fence into the home ownership game. I mean, those are 2 great plays. Yeah,
I mean, definitely. I remember I got into the mortgage industry like 16 years ago, and they were at an all-time low, and they were probably 2.5% higher than now. I mean, they are still extremely low, and they will be for a little while longer, but, people need to take advantage of it now while they can.
Yeah, for sure. And what we do when we look at the real estate industry, you look at the mortgage industry, there's a lot of myths out there. Let's hit some of these myths head on. And by the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist with Home First Lending, local expert here in Tampa Bay. And Mario, when you look at the down payment, I think that's one of the areas that people still think, oh, well, I got to have 10, 20% down. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, they've really been improving that slightly over the years, but right now you're seeing where you haven't seen it for years, where there's 1% down programs. There's first-time homebuyer down payment assistant programs. I mean, FHA is only 3.5% down. If you're VA, 0%, USDA, 0%. I mean, they're very, very low down payment that you have to put in. And I get calls all the time where people immediately are like, well, I don't know if I can qualify because I don't have 20%. I'm like, well, why would you need 20%? I mean, right. I can effectively get you into a 1% down loan, and you're done.
Yeah, and that's such a old school mentality of thinking that 20% down is required. So when you look at that, you look at the down payment, and then you've got down payment assistance programs available as well. Now those vary from municipality to municipality. But what are you seeing in that space?
I mean, they're still available. There's some additional restrictions on them that you don't see with some of the conventional 1% down programs, but they're there. There's money there available. A lot of people are getting to take advantage of it. I mean, it's a great way to get into a home if you don't have money. But yeah, I mean, they're around and they're pretty easy to use.
Yeah, you can definitely save a lot of money when you look at talking about a refinance as well this time of year. Mario Larrea, Home First Lending, it can help you through that process. He talks about, and back to the VA, I like to think about these VA, the VA loans, the Veteran Administration. It's one of the things that our government did right is helping out the veterans with these 100% programs. And as the owner of Platinum MVP Realty, a shareholder here, what we talk about is the ability to rebate money back to veterans. And it's our pleasure to give 25 basis points to a half a point back to a veteran who buys or sells with Platinum MVP Realty. I know you guys have some special incentives as well.
I mean, I can pay up to 2% of their cost just depending on the situation. So I've seen it dozens of times where somebody gets a little bit of seller concessions where the seller's paying their closing costs. I pick up the rest. They literally come in there with not a dime. So, I mean, it's a great program. It's government money, so the rates are even lower than conventional rates. So it's definitely, if you are a veteran and you're looking at a mortgage, it's definitely something you want to look at. Yeah,
absolutely. When we come back, we're going to talk about the 10 celebrities whose careers were ruined by their reputation. Anthony, our show producer, put this together for us. Also, Newport Richey veteran receives a new home in our feel-good story of the day. And we're going to bring Abraham Moussa into the conversation as well, CEO, Total Title Solutions. And we want to give a big shout-out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. We'll see you on the other side.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
On November 9th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, your radio...
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect 98.75% patient satisfaction. 50,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Over half our patients have suffered from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, published author and professional speaker. We'd love to have you check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. We're helping entrepreneurs, business owners, sales folks out there understand more about how to start their own show, their own podcast, and we can help you with that process. Check it out on Amazon. We'd love to hear from you. And I got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about. I got a beautiful property here in the Town and Country area, kind of that Longboat area here in Tampa, 5208 East Longboat Boulevard. Bayside West, 5 bedrooms, 3 and 1/2 bath, $855,000. Beautiful property. Check out the video that's online for this property at 5208 East Longboat Boulevard in Tampa. $855,000, just reduced, over 4,100 square feet, bay access, gorgeous property here in Tampa Bay. 2606 North Valrico Road in Sefner as well. Attention builders, developers, entrepreneurs out there. We got a residential development opportunity with 84 acres. It's wooded and zoned ARG planned development. Great buying opportunity. $1.75 million. You got a lake on the property as well. So we'd love to hear from you. Any buyers out there that want to engage us, we've got about 40 other listings that we can help you with. Pocket listings as well that we don't have on MLS yet. So we're back here in studio, giving a big shout out to Felicia Lacaille with Healthy Gourmet. Felicia Lacaille, she's the founder and owner, and it's organic veggies, natural proteins delivered fresh 3 times a week. Meal plan starting at $90. Optimal fuel, optimal performance, Healthy Gourmet, organic veggies, all natural proteins. And I love it when Monday, Wednesday, Friday roll around and you've got these awesome meals delivered to your home or office, and it keeps you from going through those fast food stores. You know, what else do you have in this world if you don't have your health? Felicia Lacaille, Healthy Gourmet, longtime friend of the program. Check them out, consumerqb.com. Just click on the Expert Contributors tab, consumerqb.com. Also, a reminder, any questions, comments, concerns you hear from today's show, we'd love to hear from you. 813-670-7372. That is our hotline, 813-670-7372. You can call or text that line. All right, let's go back here now. Mario Larrea is in the house. Mario Larrea, he's a mortgage specialist with Home First Lending. Abraham Moussa, CEO, Total Title Solutions. Let's get Abe's perspective here. Long time in the real estate industry, serial entrepreneur. You also have a restaurant yourself, Abe's Place in Clearwater, and also, you know, Total Title Solutions. You got a great team over there as well.
Thank you. You really are good for my ego. I love coming here just to hear that stuff.
You got it. You got it.
Just a tidbit about the mortgage stuff. On the misconception of the FHA, I think, Mario, you can explain a little bit more that you really don't have to be a first-time home buyer every time. Like, it's not once in your lifetime you own a home, you don't qualify for other ones. I believe it does reset every 3 years.
Right.
As far as the interest rate, I know that you guys know more, the mortgage people, a little bit more about the mortgage rate and where is it going to go. But it's not really related to the interest rate that the Fed's increases all the time. That's not really totally related. And the other thing, what we have discovered over the long few decades that we've had, that the real estate market is an economical engine that cannot be stopped.
Right.
So I don't ever believe that the interest rate is going to be like when Carter was there, or even 2-3 years ago where they were in the high 8s or something like that. They're always going to find a way for these interest rate to be enough or low enough for people to continuously buy in home.
Yeah.
What I would really see is, I know the enthusiasm about Mr. Trump being in the office, is that if he actually deliver on promise of the infrastructure, the cost of building a home is going to be up.
Yeah, because of the resources?
The resources will be sucked up. The labor will be sucked up. Everything will be, I mean, it's going to be, if he's really surely saying he's going to spend trillions of dollars on infrastructure.
Yeah.
Well, we're heading for a very expensive home building.
Yeah.
But I don't think the interest rate is going anywhere.
Get people working again. He's talking about that, and I think it's true what you were talking about earlier. It's not just the Fed that dictates 100% solely. It's the market in general. I mean, there's so many factors. You look at what a complex engine, capitalism, the United States, and all these different variables that come into play. Why don't you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, we know for a fact, as I stated earlier, real estate is an economical engine. It's never going to stop. It is impossible. It employs. Right. I mean, if you really count in your profession, like how many people does a real estate transaction employs?
Oh yeah,
27. It employs 27 people.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just directly, like Mario, he's a mortgage broker. He's got an assistant. He's got a lender on the other side, and they got a processor. And you're employing my people on the title company and then my lawyers and so on and so on. It is a huge market. So we're never going to mess with this again. But as far as the interest rate itself, I mean, you got LIBOR, and LIBOR is not controlled by the feds. Under no circumstances is ever controlled by that. And it's, of course, it's related to our investment, which is the treasury note. And that's where the interest rate derived from and how we lend people money. But as long as there's people willing to lend at a cheaper rate with guaranteed money, that mortgage is staying for a long time the way it is.
Yeah, you mentioned the LIBOR, the London Interbank Offering Rate, that you got the Federal Reserve rate. You got all these different factors, and it depends on which lender you're going with, which index they're going to base their properties, their mortgage loans on. So yeah, it is a complex system, but what we know is that there's the economy out there, and then there's the economy between your own ears as a listener of this show, and that's how we want to have a positive effect on you. And a reminder is that we want to quarterback these introductions to all of our expert contributors. We've got some great folks that are associated with our show, and we're talking about CPAs, financial advisors, 7 or 8 different types of law that we cover on this show. Health experts, all types of different folks that can help you. So no matter what you or a loved one is facing, we want you reaching out so we can help you with this. So back to you, Abe. You look at that. You look at the economy. What's your prediction for 2017? What are you seeing happening?
I'll say we're going to continue on the growth we're in, because the economy is not always about reality. It's about perception. And the perception right now, we're all happy. Yeah. President Trump is doing great. The stock market is more than enough. I mean, I've yet to talk to anybody that says, oh, I love my portfolio. And it's the feel good. We're a consumption economy. So as long as the people are spending the money, we're going to continue on. This is why the housing market is good. Yep. We spend the money. We're going to continue on spending the money. Then all of our job will be improved. Yeah. But the cautious to that optimism is, in true reality, really, the more the feds do on their infrastructure, the more President Trump deliver on his promise, I promise you that your house cost and your replacement cost can be so much more money. Even your air conditioning cost is going to be so much more money. Yeah. So I'm saying, you got a few more years. You better be buying a house now, or you better get into something right now, or set yourself. And I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying if it does, it will increase all of our costs.
Yeah, and a good point there as well is that you look at the United States of America and on this world global economy, now more than ever, the global economy is that we are the cleanest shirt in the dirty laundry. So we're still getting a lot of investment, foreign and national investment. There's a lot of folks from, all different countries, Asia, Europe, South America, investing in what we have here, and that's the American dream. It's the capitalism. It's the growth of the stock market. You look at the indexes, they're consistently doing this climb here. So when you break it down, you look at real estate, it's such a great place to be. Because
we still have a great justice system in this country. We still have, one of probably the least corrupt country on the planet. So, of course, you're going to be the safest in the United States when it comes to investing your money. Nobody's going to lose money in the United States. Like even Puerto Rico right now is in such a mess of a debt. And a lot of the bondholders going to lose on that money. You're never going to lose money with the United States.
Yeah, that's, the bond programs, that's a whole nother, area to speak about. I mean, when you look at the bonds and how they utilize those for even from CDDs of community development districts, that's a great point you make there when you talk about that.
There's a lot of smart people that comes up with stuff that I can't even imagine. Like the CDD, that's a great way to afford, housing development. Yep. And nobody will even understand what the heck it is, but yet somebody made good money on it and good service to where people actually were able to buy homes in a community that they can afford.
Yeah. So the CDD comes in, they're going to lay the roads, they're going to put this HOA covenants in place, they're going to work in that capacity. So
capitalism at its best. That's everybody benefits, including the people that are paying for it, and actually benefit because it affords them to be into a house otherwise could not have been afforded to.
Right.
So
yeah, I like it.
I love capitalism. If it's a true capitalism, not a greedy capitalism.
That's right.
And even as long as there's a willing buyer and a willing seller, It's perfect.
Ready, willing, and able buyer. That's what we need. We need the, and you look at the real estate transactions. I've had some this past year that, you got the ready, willing, and able buyer. You got the seller ready. They agree at the price, and you got an appraisal issue. Maybe we'll touch on that when we come back. Let's talk about, where we're seeing appraisals coming in, things happening in the Tampa Bay marketplace. 10 celebrities whose careers were ruined by their reputations. Anthony Puglisi put this together for us, our show producer. And also, Newport Richie veteran receives a new home. And more from our expert contributors here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, having fun with you, helping you, give you that elevator, that helicopter view of the marketplace, making you just a bit more street smart out there, and kind of helping you with these different introductions. We want to quarterback introductions to all of our expert contributors, and a big shout out to Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora in beautiful St. Pete Beach. It's the first new hotel built on St. Pete Beach in decades. Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude, whitewashed Mediterranean palace, rooftop yoga. Real estate quarterback code at Hotel Zamora. They're going to give you a 15 to 20% discount off of your staycation at the Hotel Zamora, the official hotel partner, the Consumer Quarterback Show.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, former USF football player. I played on the inaugural football team at the University of South Florida. And go Bulls. and longtime quarterback on our sports teams growing up, and Dad was a coach, and now I'm quarterbacking transactions to all of our expert contributors, or introductions rather, to our expert contributors, quarterbacking transactions for our sellers, our investors, our buyers out there looking to buy real estate, and helping connect you with the best expert contributors in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida here, helping you win in any marketplace. That's the goal of our show. And we want to hear from you at consumerqb.com. Just submit the form. There's an email contact form there. Submit the form at consumerqb.com. You can also call or text our hotline, 813-670-7372. Give us a call. Shoot a text over to 813-670-7372, and we want to make sure we get to you and help you with anything that you see happening that you need help with. A couple of hot listings here I want to let you know about. I've got a brand new listing down in St. Petersburg, 4711 Juanita Way South. 4711 Juanita Way South, and $375,000. Great opportunity here. And it's a 2,900 square foot pool home, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath. Great opportunity in St. Pete. And it's got a park across the street, so very quiet, quaint neighborhood here in St. Petersburg, as well as 7657 132nd Way in Seminole. This is in the Whispering Forest subdivision, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, $399,000 just reduced. Owner is motivated to sell this property. It's a 4 bedroom, 3 bath pool home, no CDD or HOA. Great opportunity. And reach out to our consumer hotline. We'd love to show you those properties. And we're back here in studio, live here in studio. Mario Larrea, mortgage specialist, Home First Lending, as well as Abraham Moussa, CEO, Total Title Solutions. And we're going to go to the phones now. We got William Crowley, the credit magician, calling in, going to give us an update on all things credit. William, how you doing?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Excellent.
Good, good. Listen, I wanted to just quickly talk about how to pick or choose a credit repair company, a legitimate credit repair company, because you have the title specialist on today and the mortgage specialist on. So I definitely work in alliance with them, trying to help people to be prepared to buy these homes and have their credit, legally up to par in order to take that endeavor.
Okay.
But what I found is a lot of people over the last couple of months I've seen in the news where, are hearing on the streets and et cetera, that, people are misunderstanding the whole concept of credit, and they're going with these traditional credit repair companies. And mainly what they do is they just dispute negative information on the credit report, and they don't disclose information to anyone. So in choosing a credit repair company, we like to label ourselves as credit restoration specialists, because we're working closely with the client. Everything's transparent. We provide the client with the laws of the Fair Credit Reporting Act so they can see what they're disputing, where traditional credit repair companies don't. So people out there, when you're trying to select a credit repair company, or if you're doing it yourself, make sure you're looking at the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or make sure that the company gives you the dispute so you can see what they're saying on your behalf. And that's only the first stage of true credit restoration or credit repair. There's other stages that the credit repair company just totally neglect, and we have to take that into consideration and be able to give that to our clients so they can see the full picture. So we have what they call a validation of debt program, where once we remove negative items off the credit report, specifically collections, then we tell the client, don't ever pay that collection either, but don't ignore them. So we issue validation of debt to the collectors. That's in conjunction with using the Fair Credit Reporting Act to dispute the negative information on the credit report. Then we use a validation of debt to stop the collector from coming after you, because the collector thinks they're going to give you the impression they owe the debt. And they're telling a lot of these mortgage companies out there, well, in order for a person to get approved for a mortgage, they must pay these collections off. I tell them, don't pay the collections off. Right. Don't ignore them. Issue a validation of debt to the collector, because when the original creditor charges the debt off, and this is important, when the original creditor charges the debt off, it releases all parties of any financial obligation to the debt, not just the creditor. It releases the consumer of any obligation to the debt. That's why you never hear from the original creditor again once it's charged off. But who you do hear from is the collectors who buy the debt for pennies on the dollar, and they're hoping to catch you sleeping and get you to pay the debt. And really, they don't even have to catch you sleeping, because most people think that they're obligated to pay that debt. You're not. So then we issue a validation of debt to the collector. So now we're saving our clients money in order to put down towards the property, or use towards the property, instead of just frivolously throwing it away on a collector, which is nothing but counterproductive, because you don't owe the money. And then when you do pay the collector, it lowers your score even more because it's a new account. It's an old account that's been turned into a new account.
Right, bringing it current.
Exactly. Then the other two steps, and then checking to see if a credit repair company is legitimate or not. Of course, there's a money-back guarantee clause. Okay, make sure you have that money-back guarantee clause and you understand it. But then the two additional steps is the Federal Trade Commission follow-up letter, which if the credit reporting agency doesn't respond and you've got the necessary paperwork to prove that they did receive it, then there's chances that if you send a letter to the Federal Trade Commission, they're the watchdogs for the industry anyway, they can force the credit reporting agency to delete everything you disputed because they did not respond back in the proper time frame, which is 30 business days. Okay, so that's the Federal Trade Commission follow-up. And then there's the cease and desist where we want to stop the collectors from calling outside parties regarding your personal business of a collection that they think you owe, but to deal directly with you. So on a cease and desist, we want to modify that a little bit to tell them, don't call anybody else, but call me because I'm a responsible person. I want to deal with this debt. If I do owe it, I will pay it. Right. But first and foremost, I'm going to issue a validation of debt to challenge your jurisdiction on whether I owe this debt or not.
I have a question.
I like that. Yeah, go ahead, Abe.
This validation of debt. I mean, I'm your average consumer. Walk me through it. What does it mean? You're saying it's not gone away, but you have to admit that it's still there. Like, when does it go away?
Mm-hmm.
Look, the collectors, usually collectors, they never go away. They're going to keep trying to hound you until you deal with them. But even after you deal with one collector, like if you issue a validation of debt, I'll break that down in a minute. But if you issue a validation of debt to one collector, that intimidates them. So what they do is they may try to sell it to another collector if they can. And that may happen for 2 or 3 years, maybe 10 years. But the point is, each time a collector comes after you, you want to issue a validation of debt. Now, what is a validation of debt?
Great.
When the original creditor charges the debt off, it releases all parties, like I said, of any financial obligation to the debt. It's just that the consumer doesn't know that they've been released from any obligation to the debt. So the collectors, who are, to me, the scum of the earth, they buy these debts for pennies on the dollar. And then they try to get the consumer to pay the debt. They don't have the original note that the original creditor had because that was destroyed at the time of charge-off. So they have no legitimate grounds to collect on a debt because they don't have no information regarding that debt. All they have is a spreadsheet in front of them telling them, okay, this is the name and the number of a person that supposedly owed the original creditor debt from whom you bought the debt from for pennies on the dollar.
I see.
So then what you want to do is now the consumer has to be responsible and say, listen, I have to address this. I can't just throw this piece of paper away because this is somebody that's coming after me for a debt that they think that I owe. So in a way, you can't blame the collectors for chasing you on that debt because it's been brought to their attention that you do owe it. Now, it's your responsibility to let the collector know I don't owe this debt through an official documentation called a validation of debt.
Yep.
The validation of debt is going to legally challenge the collector and say, okay, provide me with the wet ink document or the original note that you have that I'll open up a contract with you to pay the debt.
Well, because don't the companies, they actually get to write the debt off. So legally, that's probably how it's gone. I mean, they're getting a write-off on their taxes and stuff. I've always wondered about that in the mortgage side because you see it's written off, and now somebody else picks it up. So that never made sense to me.
It's totally counterproductive, but it's advantageous for the collector because they're just buying the debt for. I'm talking about literally they pay as much as 3 cents on a dollar for the debt. Yep. And then they come after you, and sometimes it's more you owe the collector more than who you owe the original creditor because they'll
say, oh, so and so XYZ Corporation hired us to collect this debt. That's what they'll say.
Yeah,
it's true. It's not true.
Yeah, it's not true at all. And the way that you determine if it's true is to issue a validation of debt. Yeah. And you can go online. Of course, you can check with me as well. But you can go online and just pull up validation of debt, and they have all kind of forms that you can submit to these collectors.
William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician. He's on fire today, man. I like that. I like that, William. He doesn't like them. He does not like the credit bureaus or the collection agencies. That is.
He's very nice.
Yeah. So.
Go ahead.
Good job, man. Good job. I appreciate that. So we're helping you win as a listener out there and viewer of our TV show version as well on WeBeam TV. So let's offer that credit package. If you want to engage William Crowley, the Credit Magician here, we've got a credit package for you. It's going to teach you a lot more about what he talked about, how to opt out of pre-screening, cut off some junk mail coming to you, talk about the validation of debt. So text the word credit to our hotline at 813-670 7372. Just pull out your smartphone, text our number at 813-670-7372. Text credit now, and we're going to make sure we get you in touch with William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician. William, thanks for calling in. I appreciate you.
All right, buddy. Take care. Have a nice day.
Take care. You too. All right, William Crowley, the Credit Magician, helping you understand more about your credit, how to improve that credit, and how to reduce your chances of identity theft. Just another one of our 80-plus show partners here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Newport Richey veteran receives a new home in our feel-good story of the week, as well as 10 celebrities who were ruined by who ruined their reputations by making some mistakes here. And more from our expert contributors. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
Hi, Jackie Skelton from JR World Travel here. If you travel, you need a licensed professional travel consultant, not a computer. Your licensed professional consultant can get you more for your time and your money. Value for your money and experience, not marketing salesmanship. When you're sick, you call the doctor. When you need legal advice, you call an attorney. So the next time you want to go on any type of travel, call your licensed professional travel consultant who actually represents you. We specialise in group travel, family reunions, weddings, to escorting large groups or making special arrangements for the disabled. Please call 844-249-0190. We are a full-service travel consultancy offering worldwide concierge service. Air, land, sea, rivers, resorts, locally, nationally and internationally. Remember that number, 844-249-0190.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. We're looking for a few realtors right now as well to help us out with some of our leads. We got a plethora of leads coming in, open houses we need help with. So reach out if you're interested in that. We'd love to talk to you. 701 East Crenshaw Street in Tampa. This is a beautiful remodeled property, 3-bedroom, 2-bath property here with a pool home. And it's $259,000 just reduced, 701 East Crenshaw Street in Tampa. A great buying opportunity, as well as some vacant land available in Tarpon Springs. This is a great lot, over an acre lot here at 0 Rue de Laux in Tarpon Springs. $299,000, great opportunity, fabulous opportunity to build your dream home on this 1.13 acre lot, MOL. In the exquisite Chateau de Laux estate community. High-end homes surrounding you there, $1 million homes surrounding that property. So some great listings there from Platinum MVP Realty. And check us out, consumerqb.com. You can see our listings there, contact form, all of our expert contributors, consumerqb.com. And in studio today, Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist with Home First Lending, and we're going to dive into some of these appraisal values, things happening around property values as well with Abraham Moussa, CEO, Total Title Solutions as well. And we just heard from William Crowley, the credit magician, calling in. And we're going to get to our feel-good story today and our 10 celebrities whose career were ruined by their reputations, who ruined their reputations by some of these silly things they did. So let's go ahead and talk about something serious first, and we'll have a little fun with these top 10s. But Abraham, when we were talking earlier, we were kind of talking about appraisal values. We're talking about surveys. There's a lot to consider in a real estate transaction.
Absolutely. What we've seen lately, a lot of the transaction, actually 29% to be exact, are falling apart because of appraisal. And in the past, Mario can elaborate a little bit more about this. In the past, appraisal always matched or came way above what the asking price was, because the lenders and the appraisal had a relationship to say, hey, I needed to appraise at $500,000, and I actually did become that way. So now they don't have control on that. So the appraisal have become an issue, and it's not really a 100% good system because it's flawed. It's a matter of opinion. It's not. I don't even know sometimes how they come up with the value, but it's causing issues in the real estate. So I would say if you really love this house, I would have the contingency based on an appraised value, or otherwise, you don't spend your time and waste your time to where it's the appraisal is a lot less than the asking price and so on. So that's my take on that appraisal.
It's frustrating. I lost a $500,000 deal just 2 or 3 months ago, and the bank went with a different type of approach. Instead of a comparative approach, they went with the build, the one where you rebuild it, and it was just
replacement value.
Replacement value.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just frustrating. I'm like, here I am. I did my job. I brought the buyer and seller together, and then you're going to have some appraiser come in and kill my deal.
I'm seeing it a lot this year. Appraisals coming in light. And to piggyback off what he said, this was part of the Dodd-Frank thing. The appraisal management companies that we have to use the third party. I see where we needed it because there was a lot of appraisal fraud and stuff before, but ultimately the only entity that's profiting from it or getting a good end of this is the appraisal management company themselves. The appraisers make less money. The consumers pay more. We get terrible service. I mean, in my industry, and same with both of you, if I do a bad job, I don't get another job. I don't get a referral. With them, if they do a bad job, they take to the very last minute, they submit a sloppy appraisal, they're still going to get an appraisal, the next order, because they're going through that appraisal management company.
That's right.
What you said, Brandon, earlier is you worked hard for that deal, right?
That's right.
We all did.
Yep.
We all have the same interest. He had to approve the loan. We had to do all the paperwork, and it comes to the end, and it failed. So we should, since we already know this, we should be a mechanism to say, okay, I'm going to pay you your asking price or the appraised value if it's within less or more. Now, you get some sellers that are actually harped in on that, but the next buyer is going to be almost the same. It's not going to change much. So I think sometimes there ought to be some compromise on
what
on
will
that,
change
on that
is
position.
the investor. So I think that a lot of times I think it's the investor. I said, okay, so just because you're investor here, some millionaire or billionaire that's holding the paper is going to sell that mortgage-backed security, just because they don't want this type of an asset, they're going to basically punish my seller. I think a lot of times that's what ends up playing out.
I mean, we do need it. Like you said earlier, we don't need to go back to the pre-recession where you overvalue and everything, because it's not good for anybody.
Right.
But we also need the balance. Okay, what's really reality? What's true? And I don't think they've perfected that system yet.
All right, let's jump into our top 10 list here. We've got the 10 celebrities whose careers were ruined, who ruined their reputations by their reputation. So, any guesses here, guys? You'll have some fun here.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson is not on the list. I don't know. Anthony.
Boy George.
Boy George.
Hey, he pulled it up on his phone, though.
Did he do it on his phone? Oh, man. He's got his phone here.
He just ratted me out. Of course I did.
All right, so Paul Rubens, number 10, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman. We won't go there. We won't go there.
Wait, he's not on my list.
Okay. And Anthony combined list on this one to make it happen. So Jennifer Grey. You guys hear about that one? What did she do here? Baby from Dirty Dancing. What did she do? Yes, Anthony said that looking at your phone is cheating, he said.
Oh, yes, of course I am. I'm a appraiser, but no, just...
Number 8, Lindsay Lohan made the list as a career teen. She had decided a spectacular meltdown, so unprofessional, difficult to work. She had been fired from numerous movies because her inability to get along with others compounded by alcohol abuse, and we've seen that throughout the years with some of these celebrities. Number 7, Paula Deen. Remember that one?
Yes, I do.
What she said, some racist.
And she's on my list too. But
all right, let's go. All right, so Mario, let's see. So that was 10 through 7. Who do you got? You still got 6 through 1.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods, boom, number 2. Yeah,
wow.
Old Tiger just fell asleep behind the wheel over there in Palm Beach, I guess.
Thought he was driving home from L.A.
Yeah.
They woke him up.
Long drive, yeah. His rough career or rough life over there in Palm Beach County, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So Tiger Woods, boom, got him.
I just know he's a Miami guy, a football player, Cruz something. He killed somebody and then killed himself. I honestly don't follow celebrity much. So.
Oh, yeah. No,
what the heck is his name?
If he killed himself, that probably killed his career.
Yeah.
No, but he did.
You're not talking about OJ, are you?
No, not OJ. This Rodriguez, yes.
On the boat? Is that the guy on the boat?
He killed
the baseball player. All right, number 6.
He's a football player.
Number 6, we got Britney Spears here, one of the best musicians, and she had some kind of a meltdown here as well. Let's see here. Then number 5, they got Michael Jackson on the list. Career ups and downs, and however, 2 years later, Michael Jackson's downfall began, accused of some bad stuff with kids there. Amanda Bynes. I don't recognize her.
I don't even know who that is.
She went crazy a few years ago. I think she was an actress or something. Nickelodeon. Oh, yeah,
Nickelodeon.
child star.
Oh, arrested for possession of some marijuana.
Hernandez. Is that a Hernandez?
Aaron Hernandez.
Yes, that's the guy I'm talking about. That's
right.
the only one
The
I read
football
about.
Player. Okay. Aaron Hernandez, that's a good one, though, man. That was pretty crazy. I saw that documentary. The guy that was in the back of the car, they drove him to the dead-end road, and he just texted his girlfriend, NFL. And then she knew. I think that's how they connected the evidence. Like, she knew who they were talking about.
That's terrible.
So then they just checked his phone records. Duh. Number 3, Whitney Houston made the list here. Bobby Brown. Missteps along the way, tabloids, erratic behavior, heavy drug use. And number 1 on the list, still out there. You guys want to take a stab? Number 1. He used to be pudding. He used to talk about pudding.
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, yeah. So he had some serious allegations here as well. Multiple women coming forward, sexually assaulted him, da-da-da.
I gotta watch more TV.
Yeah, pop culture stuff. Catch it here and there. You hear it. Sometimes you just hear it secondhand, right?
No, it is like that Cruz guy. He was all on my news feed, but I don't know about the rest of them.
Well, here's our feel-good story of the week. We got a good one here as well.
Tell me something good.
All right, Newport Richie veteran receives a new home. So this is a great story here. Retired Army veteran was handed the keys to his new home here Thursday by Wells Fargo and Military Warrior Support Foundation. Whitney Shaw, 31, served 4 tours in Iraq post-service. She's helping veterans, and Wells Fargo donated the home veterans across Florida. And so, yeah, great story. It makes you want to cry, makes you want to smile. It's overwhelming, said Shaw. So great story. We'd like to mix in those good stories here and there on the quarterback show, right?
Always good to hear.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, quick lightning round.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning round.
All right, real quick. Top tips, things to do, things to avoid. Mario Larrea.
If you're looking to buy right now, this is the time. This year, they're going, like I was saying, programs opening up, rates still low. This is the time to do it.
That's right. Abe Moussa.
I said, plan ahead, work with your mortgage broker, work with your credit people way before you even make an offer, and always have the contingency for the appraisal value.
That's right. Yeah, be proactive. I like that. You have the appraisal contingency in the contract, and that boils down to there's a lot of different types of professionals out there. There's good, better, and best, and if you don't think about those different contingencies that you write into the contract, it's all about the strategic. It's all about the motivation behind negotiations. It's about coming together with these game plans, having a proactive approach to your search. Don't wait till the last minute to get the pre-approval, get the credit improved. We're seeing a lot of things happening in those spaces. So I want to thank Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist here with Home First Lending, longtime friend of the program. Abraham Moussa as well, CEO, Total Title Solutions. Thanks for coming in, as well as William Crowley, the credit magician, for the call in today. And we want to remind you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Something as simple as packing up leftover food, carrying it with you to and from your commute to work, handing it to that homeless person or that person you see on the side of the road that's in need, that needs your assistance, and be a force for good in the community. Go out there and make a donation to a charity, maybe serve some time and serve some food to a homeless shelter and serve. And that's a way that you can be involved. Donate your time or money, and we'd love to hear from you about the Consumer Quarterback Show, some of the things that you're doing out there to be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback.